Vienna, the city of music, the city of dreams, and at the turn of the 20th century, the city of time. For centuries, the citizens could find the time primarily on the church towers. These clocks all had one thing in common. They had nothing in common. Without a method to synchronize the time, it was common to find a different time on every side of a clock tower. With the advent of electricity, Emperor Franz Joseph issued a decree calling for new public clocks and a standardization of time, Normalzeit. These clocks needed to do two things: tell accurate time and be legible from a great distance. This new clock was designed as a cube, faceted at the corners, and after a public poll, numerals were replaced by simpler marks. This had never been done before. In 1907, the first clock was installed, and the new electric streetlights allowed the clocks to be regulated and synchronized by electrical impulse. In 1910, Vienna introduced Central European Time, allowing all rail transport and mail to be synchronous as well. Through the 20s and 30s, the number of cube clocks in Vienna grew, and they became the face of the city as a modern, urban, and secular power. In an evolving culture, the standardization of time was emblematic of a public ready to self-govern, as well as social commonality. The clocks became an important piece of Vienna's unique cultural fabric and life, landmarks and destinations. During the Second World War, all of the clocks were damaged. Only one remained operational in 1945. Gradually, they were repaired and began to reappear, and in 1980 there were 78 cube clocks working in Vienna. The dawn of the 21st century saw the clocks becoming less essential with the advent of cell phones, and the clocks began to gradually disappear from the city's landscape. Each demolition of a clock caused public outcry. They were old and faithful friends. Their design, so old yet incredibly modern, had been fixed firmly in Vienna's life and heritage. The heritage continued when Lichterloh bought the remaining clocks and recycled them as objects for furniture in public spaces. In 2014, two men met at a fair and realized something important. The cube clock was like a sleeping beauty of modernity, waiting to be awakened and celebrated at long last. Freddie Brodman and Lichterloh worked together to create the Normalzeit wristwatch, a faithful and beautiful recreation of the timeless design, wearable on your wrist. And in 2015, 1907 limited edition automatic watches were produced and commercialized to mark the year where the first clock was erected, following up with a smaller quartz version now sold worldwide. Over 100 years later, the Normalzeit watch looks as if it was designed tomorrow. Timeless.